Welcome to Home Buying Made Easy. I am Michael, and we are talking today about home buying made easy as it relates to maybe some not so perfect credit decisions that were made in the past. I have Rachel here with me as well, and she has some questions about different things as it relates to credit.
Yes, I sure do. So we wanted to cover bankruptcy and foreclosure and maybe some credit decisions that aren't so great that are on your credit that might be looked at for a new home. And we want to make home buying made easy for everybody. So let's cover foreclosures and how that looks on your credit when you're buying a new house and what you would say in advice.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's a long-winded question.
So, I guess to start with, it would when you're in a foreclosure situation, you specifically chose not to pay your mortgage.
Yeah,
that could be bad. So usually when there's a foreclosure situation where you're giving the house back, or sometimes it's called a deed in lieu, like a deed in lieu of foreclosure, meaning, hey, I'm going to give it back. I just can't pay it. Mm-hmm. When you do that with a bank or an investor, that puts a scarlet letter on you for a few years.
Yeah.
Like a bad mark. Like an F, failed. No, it doesn't mean you failed permanently. Yeah. It doesn't mean that you can't ever get another house. It just means that at this time, you probably don't have the credit worthiness to get another house immediately. So what lenders do, and what Fannie and Freddie and the guidelines for FHA, USDA, VA, they look at that and they give an amount of time and say, okay, if Rachel can prove that she has good credit over the next several years, we call that seasoning. Mm-hmm. If she can prove that she has good credit over the next couple of years, then we'll kind of put that aside and say, okay, there's been enough time. She's reestablished her credit, and we don't have to not give her a loan anymore. And depending on which agency you're dealing with, conventional Fannie and Freddie, or FHA, or VA, or USDA, or even some of the other services. I mean, there's other they're called non-QM lenders, non-qualified mortgage lenders. They'll do like a I don't want to call it subprime. It's not really subprime. It's just, they don't meet the same standard as a conventional loan or an FHA loan, but they're still out there. One of them is called a second chance loan. Well, that makes sense, because if they've reestablished their credit and they've gotten back on their feet, and now they've made good payments for, let's say, 12 months, then they may qualify for that second chance program. Mm-hmm. Usually has a little bit higher rate because it's higher risk, because the previous decisions that were made were, hey, let's give the house back. That's important to remember, that when underwriters and investors are looking at this, they're looking at your ability to repay. And if you don't show credit worthiness of the ability to repay, then they're going to come back and go, should we or should we not? Should we take a deeper look at it? Mm-hmm. Maybe we need to dive into, well, does she have cash reserves? Is there other credit that she has that's been paid for a while, things like that. So that's how foreclosure works. Okay. Right. And you want to know about bankruptcy too. Yes. There's several different types of bankruptcy. We're going to talk about two of them. Right. Chapter 7, which is rip up the notes and throw it all in the trash can. Yeah. Burn the ships, so to speak. That type of bankruptcy means, hey, I went and got all this debt, and I got a mortgage, I got cars, and I got credit cards. I got too much. Mm-hmm. I give up. And you give up and you file bankruptcy. Well, when you file bankruptcy, that stays on your record. Bankruptcy is bankruptcy protection. It's not, hey, give up. It's bankruptcy protection from lenders who are trying to get all the money.
Right.
That's what it's for. There's two types, though. The Chapter 7, which is give up and walk away. And there's Chapter 13. There's other ones too, but those are the two we're going to talk about. The Chapter 13 is a repayment plan. It's a restructuring of your debt. So let's say you don't want to give up the house, you don't want to give up the car, and you don't want to do all that. You can do a Chapter 13, which is more looked at, more friendly by lenders, because you've shown the ability that you want to repay your debt. You just don't have the ability to do so right now. So, excuse me there. One thing that you need to be aware of, it's still a bankruptcy, but it's looked at more favorably because you didn't make that ultimate decision to just walk away from everything.
Right.
So those are the two that we usually deal with on the mortgage side, residential mortgage side. Another thing about bankruptcy, everything I'm telling you, you need to consult a bankruptcy attorney for. I am not an attorney, so don't just take my word for it. You need to talk. If you're going to look at bankruptcy, talk to an attorney.
Yeah.
Don't just do it and think, oh yeah, I'll just walk away. Like, it's not that easy. You may want to talk to the loan officer too about what are the ramifications, what are the consequences of filing for bankruptcy, like what that can do to you. So I mean, that could put a damper on the house buying process for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
What was there was another thing.
Are there any other decisions that look really bad on your credit report, such as a foreclosure or bankruptcy, or are those kind of like the top two?
Those are the two really big no-nos,
Yeah.
But I would say just late payments.
Yeah.
A lot of times there's late payments, and people, what I've seen happen over the years is people make an assumption that, okay, well, my student loans are in forbearance or my student loans are deferred. And then when they decide, okay, well, I'm going to start paying my student loans, they realize that they had already come out of forbearance, already come out of deferment. Or worse, they go try to apply for a mortgage. Sometimes they'll call and say, hey, I want to get a mortgage. And then when we pull their credit, they have 120-day lates on their school loans because they thought they were deferred and they weren't. That's terrible. That's a terrible feeling. Like, nothing we could do.
Right.
Like, they should have been paying them, and maybe their documents got lost in the mail from the servicers of the school loans. But like, really, you got to be careful. Protect your credit.
Right.
No late payments. I just got off the phone just a little while ago with a guy who was like, hey, you need to make your payment. Don't be late. Right. Whatever you do, don't be late.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I just want to cover those 3-ish topics today. So that's it.
All right. Well, if you have other questions about bankruptcy, foreclosure, or bad credit decisions, or just want to know, should you, shouldn't you, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. We'll be glad to walk you through the process and answer any questions we have. Or if we don't have the answers, we'll get you in touch with an attorney that can help you out with those questions too. Until next time, we'll see you next episode.